before your 65th birthday. What if you're not receiving Social Security when you turn 65? More and more people are continuing to work, or at least delaying the start of Social Security in order to receive a higher benefit. In this case, you'll need to proactively enroll in Medicare during the Medicare enrollment period. There are three main Medicare enrollment periods. The initial enrollment period applies if you are not covered by a group that covers 20 or more employees when you turn 65. If you are covered by a group plan, because you or your spouse is still working, you'll have a special enrollment period, which I'll get to in a minute. If you miss either of these enrollment periods, you can sign up for Medicare during the general enrollment period. The initial enrollment period for people who aren't covered by a group plan at 65 starts 3 months before you turn 65 and lasts until 3 months after you turn 65. But although it lasts for a total of 7 months, you really should enroll during the 3-month period. We encourage, before you turn 65, we encourage people to enroll as soon as they can. When your Medicare coverage will start on the first day of the month you turn 65. By the way, if your birthday happens to be on the first day of the month, everything's moved up a month. Just pretend your birthday is in the previous month. So for example, if your birthday is June 1st, your initial enrollment period would be February 1st. If you sign up during February, March, or April, your coverage would start May 1st. We've been talking about signing up for Medicare as a whole, but there are times we need to break it into parts. Most people will sign up for everything all at once, but there may be times when you want to sign up for some parts and not others. If you're still working when you turn 65, check with your benefits administrator to see if you should sign up for Part A. We recommended earlier that if you're covered by an employer group plan, when you turn 65, you have a special enrollment period that comes later. However, you may want to sign up for Part A when you first become eligible for it at 65. The reason is that it may offer better coverage for hospitalization than your group employer plan does. And Part A is usually free to you, but check with your benefits administrator anyway. Now, my experience is generally the HR department sends you a package of information well before you need to make a decision to give you time that explains all this, and it may require that you have a meeting with HR to get through it because of the complexities. If your employer plan is a high deductible plan paired with a health savings account, and if you want to keep contributing to the health savings account, you should not sign up for Part A. The reason is that once you enroll in Medicare, your HSA contributions must stop. But let me be clear, if you have an HSA and your employer plan covers fewer than 20 employees, you have to drop the SHA and sign up for Medicare during your initial enrollment period. It's complicated, isn't it? Okay. If you're not covered by an employer group plan when you turn 65, you'll want to sign up for Part B during your initial enrollment period, preferably that 3-month period before your 65th birthday. So if you're not working, if you're self-employed, if you're employed by a company that has fewer than 20 employees, if you're on COBRA, even if you're receiving retiree health benefits, you'll want to sign up for Parts A and B during your initial enrollment period. If you signed up for Parts A and B during your initial enrollment period, and if you think you will ever in your life want prescription drug coverage, you should enroll in a Part D at the same time. If you go more than 63 days without credible prescription drug coverage, you will pay a late enrollment penalty when you finally do sign up for Part D. So it's better to go ahead and get your coverage from the onset, even if you aren't currently taking any prescription drugs. As mentioned before, you have two options. You can enroll in a standalone prescription drug plan if you have original Medicare, or you can get your drug coverage through a Medicare Advantage plan. Okay, that takes care of the initial enrollment period. Now we're going to talk about the special enrollment period. This is for people who were covered by an employer group plan that covers 20 or more employees when they turn 65. In this case, you'll not be penalized for not enrolling in Medicare at 65, but you will be penalized if you don't sign up during your special enrollment period. The best time to sign up for this is before your current coverage ends. That way you'll have no gaps in coverage. But you actually have a grace period of several months to avoid late enrollment penalties. For Part B, that grace period starts the month your coverage ends and lasts for 8 months. For Part D, it's only 63 days. But who wants to be uncovered? You're naked during that time. You don't have any insurance. So to summarize, you can avoid late enrollment penalties by signing up for Medicare during your initial or special enrollment period. But to avoid gaps in coverage, which is even more important, you should sign up before your current coverage ends. What if nobody ever told you about the Medicare enrollment periods and you didn't sign up when you were supposed to? Well, you can still sign up, but now you have to do it during Medicare's general enrollment period, which runs from January through March 31st of each year. This is the only time you can sign up for Medicare if you're outside of your initial or special enrollment period. Coverage starts July 1st. So as you can see, this could leave you with some coverage gaps. So you really want to avoid having to sign up during the general enrollment period. But it may be the only option for some people. The important thing to know is that you can't sign up for Medicare as soon as you realize you fail to do so. If you're outside the general enrollment period, you have to wait until the next one rolls around. Okay, let's do a quick review of Medicare enrollment periods because it's important. The initial enrollment period is for everyone age 65 who is not covered by an employer group plan that covers 20 or more employees. The best time to sign up is 3 months before your 65th birthday, and Medicare coverage will start on the first day of the month you turn 65. The special enrollment is for everyone over 65 who is covered by a current employer or a spouse of a current worker under an employer group that covers 20 or more employees. The best time to enroll in Medicare is before that coverage ends. Then your Medicare coverage will start on the first of the month of enrollment. The general enrollment period is for people who didn't attend this presentation, didn't know they needed to sign up for Medicare during their initial or special enrollment periods. They can sign up between January and March 31st of each year with coverage starting in July. How do you sign up for Parts A and B? It's very easy. I mentioned if you're already receiving Social Security when you turn 65, you'll automatically be enrolled in Medicare. If not, you can go to ssa.gov, click on Medicare, and click on the big Apply for Medicare Benefits button. You can do it, or you can do it by phone. Wow, that was interesting. By calling the number on the screen. Part D isn't quite as straightforward because first you have to decide how you want your prescription drug coverage, or whether you want a standalone prescription drug plan or a Medicare Advantage plan. In either case, you'll be shopping for plans offered by private insurers. Once you decide on original Medicare versus Medicare Advantage and then choose a specific plan, you can enroll in Part D through the insurance company or Medicare.